What's your earliest memory of wanting to be involved in harness racing?
Yeah, it probably goes back to when my first memory, to be fair. There hasn't really been anything else. Like, I can remember I would have been about 4 or 5 years old, I reckon. I'd get the whip from the stables and I'd go on my bike with the trailer wheels and, I'd be pretending I was, driving horses, really. Yeah, it's just, as soon as I can remember being alive, has pretty much all been horses.
The question there has to be asked, two brothers, you're mad keen, Tom's not keen at all.
No, he's not. No, he hasn't shown any interest at all, really. He's always quite keen, if we win a big race, to see what sort of stake we've won, but that would be his biggest enjoyment, really. Yeah, no, apart from that, he wouldn't really give a hoot, Like, I can remember Mum told him, Ben won a Group 1 tonight, and he says, oh, that's great, what's for dinner? So, he's the sort of kid that's, he's got his own interests, he's quite into sports and that, but never really been into horses.
Okay, sitting there with the training wheels and the stick, who were your inspirations? Who were you trying to emulate?
To be fair, back then I can't really think of anyone, to be fair. I was just being a driver, As I got older, obviously looked up to the likes of Dexter Dunn. He was obviously any kid's dream. He was like, if you want to be an All Black, you want to be Dan Carter, If you want to be a driver, you want to be anywhere close to Dexter, and obviously that's, easier said than done. But, people like Dexter and Johnny and, obviously Ricky's been a big part of the stable, so he's obviously been an idol as well.
Does that go as far as you've shaped your driving style around any of those, or have you got the Ben Hope style?
I suppose, they're all great drivers, so you'd like to be like any three of them, how you drive, but I suppose I've got my own sort of style in a way, and I'm still shaping it. I'm still young, so I feel like I've still got more progressing to do.
In terms of the number of winners, you've racked up 100 very quickly. When you started out driving, did you have a goal to do that as a junior, or was that not really on the radar?
Well, before I got my juniors, I sort of had quite a few big goals, and then you sort of start driving and you realise it's not that easy, So those goals sort of quickly went out the window, and I just thought, as long as I keep improving and keep working hard, and the winners will hopefully come themselves, But I've been rapt to get to 100 wins, It all comes down to the support of my parents, really. Majority of them has come with them, and I'm rapt to be where I'm at, but I'm also at the same time, I know I've still got a lot of improvement, and I'm still not anywhere close to the driver I know I can be.
What about in terms of the pecking order around home when it comes to sorting the horses out and who's doing what? Where do you sit?
I'd say third, I'd say would be the right answer.
A clear third?
Yeah, clear third would be the right answer, I'd say. Yeah, no, Mum and Dad, they're great horse people, and, I've only been in it for, 5 minutes where they've been doing it most of their lives. So, obviously I say the odd thing, but at the end of the day, Mum and Dad know best.
Aspirations to become a trainer?
Oh, definitely, yep. No, it's quite funny, I've sort of always it's been just driving, and then as soon as I sort of started driving, I obviously really enjoyed in that, but then I thought, I'd be quite keen to do the training side as well. But in saying that, that's probably still, in the long term, really. I'm still quite keen to finish out my juniors, and then I think when I finish out my juniors, that'll be when I really, think about where's next.
Tell me a bit about the beach training and how beneficial it can be for horses, and how beneficial is it for a horse like Muscle Mountain?
It's really good, really. Like Muscle Mountain, while he's obviously a great horse, he's still got a few tendencies to get a little bit racy and keen, and it just can relax them a bit. And we've found as time's got on, the beach has really suited a horse like him, because you can do all those little things that walking in the surf and walking on the sand, and you obviously don't have the hard surface of the track. So for a trotter like him that can put a pressure on his joints, it's super.
It can't be a bad office either for you.
Oh no, definitely not. No, it's an awesome place to work. You've obviously got the great views. On a frosty morning it can be a little bit cold down there, but apart from that it's great. You can see a lot of the other top horsemen down there, so it's great to be all amongst it, and it's a great tight-knit community.
Muscle Mountain, he's a special horse for a number of reasons. Clearly we'll get to the Group 1 in a moment, but your association with him and being allowed to drive him right through his career has been a huge boost for you.
Oh, definitely, yeah. No, he's a horse that any young driver dreams of driving. You know, he's always shown a bit of brilliance from day dot, really. I can remember driving him as a yearling and, you know, would work him with their other yearlings, and he just had something different about him, you know. It's hard to explain, but you could just tell he was going to be a special horse. And but to be fair, he still had to keep improving, and he's done that.
What's he like around the stable? Does he know he's good?
Yes and no, you know, like he can be a bit arrogant at times, but he is a very smart horse, you know. Like there's been a couple of times where he's had a cover hasn't been quite done up right, and then I've let him go, and I've sort of walked up to him, and he's looked around and just stood there, waited for me to do the cover up, and then walked away. You know, he's just shown a few sort of tendencies that, you know, shows that he's pretty switched on, really.
Tell me about the Group 1, Addington Raceway. No real pressure that night, because there were pressure on a few other horses that were more favoured.
Oh, definitely. You know, I can remember Mum saying before the race, she said that there's not really much pressure on because they're all either picking Bolt for Brilliance or Sunday Sun, which is fair enough. They're, you know, two superstars. So we sort of went there being a little bit of the underdog, I suppose, in a way. And, you know, I wasn't really nervous at all. You know, with a horse of that calibre, it's hard to be nervous, really, because you know what he's capable of. You sort of go in there more excited more than anything.
And he'd already delivered that in the free-for-all on show day. You knew that he was up to that grade. What you didn't know is the speed he had off the gate.
No, that's right. Yeah, no, I got a huge shock that night, really. It's the intention was sort of to pull back and just let him get into his groove early. But as we were getting up behind the gate, he was just getting more and more keen and just felt super, you know. So I thought we'd have a go, and lucky enough it worked out.
Special moment just past the winning post. I was lucky enough to be standing just across from your mum and dad, and you gave them a wee salute. That'll long time burn, not only in your memory but theirs as well.
Oh, definitely, yeah. No, it's you know, it was a memory that will last a lifetime, really. So yeah, no, it was awesome. So I saw them jumping up and down, so I thought I'd better give them a thumbs up, and yeah, it was really cool.
Harness Jewels, Cambridge. The family have had success there. Mombay burnt up the track there 1 year. How excited to get there this year?
Oh, definitely. You know, very exciting. I've never actually driven at Cambridge, so it'll be a new thing in itself. But to go there with a realistic chance of winning is going to be awesome. So really looking forward to the Jewels.
Ben, you went into the Trotting Championship as the underdog. You're not in that position now.
No, definitely. No, he's not the underdog no more. But in saying that, it doesn't hurt them to be a little bit afraid of him. So, you know, I actually wouldn't mind that, really. You know, if they show him a bit of respect, that's only going to do wonders for him.
The bookmakers are respecting you. You're inside Bolt for Brilliance in terms of favouritism. Does that surprise you?
Yes and no, really. A lot of it comes down to the draw. But in saying that, I think he, judging by his last win, you know, he has to be favourite, I'd say. But if the draws don't go in his favour, you know, then there's obviously the chance that, you know, one of the other two good horses will be favourite. But at this stage, I think he deserves to be number one.